Buenos dias, amigo. Hola. Hey. My name's Jacques Marceau. Bonjour. Right. Fruit fly problems, eh? Fruit fly problems exist, right? In here, fruit fly problems exist. See, I have a bit of mess in there. Understandable locations is fruit flies has come through and such, yeah. Bit of a pest. Most of the people of understandability know the containment of fruit fly trainings. As we come on to understand, is like a term, excuse me, excuse my French, fuck me, fuck a Frenchman, yes. My name is Jacques. My name is Jacques, and that Mr. Marceau. Mr. Marceau, in this CSIRO, is for furthermore, say, fly. You say fistful of fly is like test 2. This is my test 2 into fruit fly. This is for the small Southern American little mongrel. I won't go into full detail, just give a quick heads up. I just want to show my friends what's up, where we're up to. It's like a little base secret in Fort Jacquesworth, yes? Let's say the fruit fly come in. Now, understandably, for a long time, people are just forever spraying the fruit fly with pesticides and such, yes? Now, improving pesticides from the CSIRO is where it's at. Now, can forever spray, yes? Spraying for pesticides and whatnot? Well, in for furthermore, it's show itself that they kill them, yes? This is where they kill them, but say it invades the fruits of understandings. Now, I'm only a learning student. Many people probably just laugh at this and go, what an idiot trying to learn about life. Now, as I push it on now, this is where subject, myself, has had the understanding that these fruit flies are very active sexually, yes? Is say they drop the eggs in the fruit, they're very fast to populate, and the ones who are out there are mongrels. They're straight onto it, wanting more and more, like the savage. Now, this one, for what the name is, I don't really want to go too much, but it's an extra virgin, a virgin olive oil. Now, understand, I implant the understandings. Yes? I implant it into the actual food, the fruit, these test fruits. Now, understandably, of these testings, what it come to implant those ones, yes? This is where it come into, say, the testings of understandings. My quick push together is where these testings, right, as they will populate themselves and start to release, fingers crossed, you spray it up, right? This one, this is sample C. Now, it comes into the containment as it mixes up, as these alphas come in to populate the virgin, is like crossbreeding, like Australian Indigenous. As you know, Australian Indigenous, yes? Or the as they call them, like whatever. In Australia, a nigger is to say as they will crossbreed out of their population, yes, as you see the white ones, all the different ones, yes. As is proven science in life itself with humans, it also works on the bugs we're seeing. Like that, the bugs, yeah, bugs. And so they come into it is where these ones populate and they start to come out. Now, these ones, they want the actual drive. So flying around in understandability, down in here, what we have in here, right? This one here, mate, the clincher, the sauce, mate, the sauce itself, the dirty old tomampo, mate. This one in here, right? Now, understandably, these fruit flies, when they like to populate, they like to get it wet. They like to make it wet. So quickly they get for wetness, like toilets, sinkholes, for furthermore. But it's still usually for populations. If they can be wet, they can populate. It helps spreads how they operate, the sexy bit. And say, this is the thing. Inside the tomato is the ultimate. Inside the tomato is a sample of understandable difference as they will go to, say, push this containability, say, from over in that location into this location, containing now 2 of understandabilities. As they've come through to populate, as they come in now to eat. Now this is where the birthings, that from the containment of the birthright, from these next ones, is either in the bush or wherever they birth it, because it's very difficult. Or say in the fruit would be in the tomato, right? They birth it in the tomato. This is where, to say in understandings, the coverage of understandability, like that, an entrapment. Like a coverage of understandings, the entrapment. As these guys, the flies down in here from tomato and whatnot, she comes up in through the bush. Now, understandably, the ones from the bush, yes, and the tomato, as they populate into the redevelopment of these flies, it comes up into understandability that the population of these ones, it's not just about the eggs or whatnot, it's about for furthering them in that to not destroy the fruit for what we call it to be, to say, for further the world. Now, understandably, this is where it gets very interesting. This is where the samples of understandings that come out of here, the flies themselves, this is where I use System C, this blue stuff here, and I mix it in this one here. Understand, a nice clean jar. And this one, as I collect them, is to say come into my nice clean jar. This is where I make the understandable in the laboratory upon genetics of, genetics like the understandings of I'll put this over here, you might see it a bit better, so I won't be moving around, is like that of, say, DNA, in that like DNA itself. As I come into like DNA itself, is to say the understandings of the fruit fly is now modulated, okay? Once upon a time, in understandability, they was only, they were the pink one, right? They were this pink one. So there we have the pink one of understandings. I'll put this over here so I try and see me a bit better. I haven't got a very good camera source. I'm not a bloody cameraman of whatnot. And anyway, the pink one come here. Now, understandably, we have the pink ones. Now, they're the ones over in that containment of the first, within the sink, yes? The one where I put the extra virgin and they start to populate out of there, yes? They're the first ones. We catch them as well, yes? Their populations as best as, to say, coming into it for furthermore upon the drive of their spread. Now, understandable as we catch them is the location of the catching. This containment here being one containment, in the distance travel to see how far they can distantly travel as they want to populate, to say slow up their populations and not only in that save the fruits. And here's another one, and here's another one, as you see it go for furthermore, yes? As I come in to say the pink one and the yellow, here is pink and yellow, is say each one is for furthermore to say go into its different situation, yes? Long story as it come down to it, is where the containment itself, these guys that come out of here from in the tomato, say he's now known as green. He's now known as green, these guys, understandably. These guys that come out of there are now known as green. So these green ones, right, these green ones in the understandability are, say, taken into a population like into a whole new containment of its own existence. The whole new containment of its own existence, say, like this little containment, that barrel and putting green at the bottom there, and say, the drive, mate, this is the drive, the blue one, mate. The blue one of existence is the malleolated of the genetics of DNA itself. The laboratory special, like that of an ultimate implanter. Like the sex drive machine that will just destroy their population. So when they go to repopulate within, they just die off as they kill themselves off. Like we talk of the crossbreedings of indigenous and whatnot, to stop the understandables. As you see the malleolation of society as it goes for furthermore, yes? This is where the blue one itself is now come out of here. So understandably, the ones coming out of here now is all blue. In understandings, these ones are all the blue ones, yes? So all the ones out of here are now blue. This is the good bit. The green one that's in here now is where the green one and in the blue one is now a genetics of understandings of a whole new calibre of understandability. He's not within the same of any of these fruit flies out here now. These ones are in here are totally new fruit flies. Long story short, I've got to give up. I've got to go to work. My name, Jacques, right? Jacques Marceau is that little test. My little connective thesis into my little testings. It's very simple science. Don't get me wrong. I'm not a bloody rocket science with my algae and all the rest, modulating all kinds of spirits to say amplify as we go on and whatnot. But hey, fruit flies, I give this a test. It's something to play with. Anyway, I'm Jacques Marceau. Bit of entertainment in Fort Sharksworth as we battle each other on and whatnot. People are like, what sort of entertainment don't you get up to after you chin wagging about different stories? Well, like CSIRO testings and say genetics and malleolation keep us busy. We're pretty good people. I got to go to work. It's now, you look on this clock, 6 o'clock in the morning up on my clock. Yeah, 6 o'clock. Good time, eh? Anyway, bye-bye.